Welcome back. This is Robin again, and this is part 2 of that 40 years of Christmas and tips and things. And today we're going to be focusing on the tree, which I know this is not your ordinary tree because most people don't have red trees, but I think I told y'all last time that I found it at Goodwill for $14.99. So it's part of my theme this year. And that's one of the first things I was going to say. Also is that, I mentioned that I do a different theme every year, and this year is, I'm not really sure what name we call it, but we're in our golden years, and also we're empty nesters, and we built a nest in our backyard, a life-size nest. So it's going to be kind of a golden nest. Like our little birds have flown the nest, and actually I did order everybody their own little bird so I can put it on this little tree thing I have in the living room. But anyway, so first thing I want to do is thank everybody for, the wonderful response last time. I couldn't even believe it. I woke up and it was 1,000 views, and then the next thing I knew it was 1,500 views. And anyway, so I just want to thank y'all for sharing. And I mentioned before that we're going to do a drawing for something. I can't even remember what we talked about. Maybe a consultation or whatever. But let's draw for that now, and then we'll get right into the decorating the tree. And I'll try not to go so long this time, but it's how it is. So I had 38 shares, and so everybody's name is in this little apple bowl. And it looks like Rosella Montoya. She won. So you can DM me or I'll DM you and we'll figure out something. But yeah, it's funny. I went to school with her in Germany, where I graduated, but she was 3 years younger than me. So I was the first graduating class, and she was just a little, I think, a freshman or a sophomore then. But anyway, so thank you again for sharing and just watching. And you know what to do, whatever platform you're on, like it, share it. Make sure you turn your notifications on so you'll know when I do the next live. And we're just learning this whole setup. And I don't know, Kevin, do you have a shot that shows all your stuff? Because it's incredible.
Let me see. How about that? Hello, everyone.
There's Kevin.
Can you hear me okay, Robin?
I can. He
Right.
got me this fancy little, I feel very special. Look like that. CIA, FBI. But so if y'all have any questions, be sure and let us know, and Kevin will feed those questions to me. So if I'm going too fast or whatever. But you know what's really incredible? I have been doing this for over 40 years, and I learned something from me breaking it down to try to teach it to you, because I just do it, and I don't, you've been doing something for a long time, you don't necessarily think about all the steps you do anymore. It's just kind of automatic. So the thing that I learned, and I don't know why I never did this in all the years, it's probably because I was much younger and not 60 and trying to get up on ladders and leaning out and doing all that. So I'm going to do the topper not on the tree. This is not that big of a tree, but it's 7.5-foot tree, but I would do 12-foot trees, and I'd be leaning out and trying to hook an arm. It was just crazy. So I figured out an easier way, and I'm going to show you how to do the topper. I don't know if that's maybe too tall, but I think that's going to be okay. Can you see?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is our little topper, and I have lots of tree stands. So instead of using the tree stand that came with the tree, obviously it's on there. So I used another one to put the topper on, so it would keep it steady, so I could really go to town on this top. And one of the things that you can do
is when I try to do things, like if it's going to stay there, which my theme changes, so I don't really do that for me, but if it's something that you're going to do year after year, we can put it on a lot more secure. So you can actually take the top of your tree off, put it on a stand or something like that, put a big, like a large drop cloth, those lightweight drop cloths, or a trash bag, and just keep it like that. Or I try to figure out a way where there's like 3 different groups. But anyway, so I think it's a good idea for you to just try to keep it like it is once you get it on there. So anyway, since my theme is kind of birds and nests and things like that, I'm going to start with some branches. And I have a tendency, I like to do things really big and kind of way out of the norm. But I don't have that much space here, and so I really don't have a lot of room to go super tall. So I'm going to have to kind of do my focal point more like down here. So I'm going to start with getting that kind of going so I know where my line is. And once again, I'm going to just use my branches of my tree to tie it on with. Or you can use Chanel's pipe cleaners. I don't know who came up with Chanel. I don't even know where it comes from, but it's just what everybody calls them in this industry, I guess. So I'm going to tie it down here too, so it's more stable. Because I'm going to put my birds on this branch. But my colors, it's just crazy how I hardly buy any new stuff each year, and because I have so many different 40 years of different themes that I've kept, I just have a lot of colors. But I had this, I think I told you last time, I had this paper that I just fell in love with it because it's got my colors I love, and it just so happened to work with the ribbon that I found, and I just love it when it all comes together and I have stuff and I'm like, oh, I didn't know I had that. And that's where I think people, what makes a tree a little bit more special is maybe adding elements that aren't considered Christmas per se. Branches, that's really not Christmas, but you can pull stuff from your house. You'd be surprised at all the different things I put on trees that aren't really an ornament. So, Stone, my son, reminded me of one theme I did that had, and I'll have to put a picture on there, but I made little big dice, and we made popcorn, because we love to play games and watch movies and eat popcorn. So I made popcorn balls out of styrofoam, and then we pinned all the popcorn to it, and it was a real cute. And I had board games on the tree, and it was real fun. So he had mentioned that was one of the ones that he liked. So I apologize for my voice. I'm still trying to get over all this yuck. But so next thing I'm going to do is add my height and because of my ribbon that I found in the pink, which is, these are, I'll remind it to you, these are the colors that I'm doing, the gold and the red. And this kind of reminds me a little bit of a kind of a German feel. So I'm kind of making it semi vintagey, but these are the colors that we're going to go with. These are the ribbons. I already pre-cut everything so it'll go faster. So, anybody have any questions so far? Like I said, my tree is a little tall for this room, so I'm not going to go very high. But I will start by placing, I don't know if you can see this, let's see if I can turn around. Placing that just kind of next to the pole or the center and doing the same thing. I don't know if you noticed these little red lights. Those are actually what it came with, but I think that's why people got rid of it, was because the lights weren't working. And I thought, oh, maybe I can get these lights working, and guess what? Nope. So, I don't know if I mentioned to you, but I do not really care. I love lights, but I don't like messing with them, and trying to put lights on this tree, which it's not the best job of putting the lights on, but I had to have some lights on there. So it was all tangled, and I thought, ugh. But I did it. I pushed through. I was like, I am doing this. I'm not going to let it get the best of me. So, yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Because I want to know how long the ribbons are.
The ribbons are about 1.5 yards, and this is how I do it. So when I was measuring these, I didn't cut this very good. From your, roughly, from the tip of your nose to the, the extension of your arm, like that, that's about 1 yard. And so I just came back and did about half of that. So it's about 1.5 yards. It's roughly, it's not, my arms aren't stretched out, but it's 1.5 yards if you want to measure it, but it's really not necessary. But you can if you want. And all of them are the same. And I'm only doing 3 different colors of ribbon, or 3 different types of ribbon. And notice, that's another thing, when you layer them, it's good to have, like this one, it's a number 40. I'm not sure what number this is, but it's a wide, like a 6-inch. And then this is a number 9, which is just a regular, about 1.25 inches, I think. So it's, see how they're just bigger to small? And you can even go smaller. And once again, this is wired, so it's a lot more friendly to work with, and I just prefer it. But so I hope that answers your question. I have been humming all day, so I'm sure you'll hear some humming. I love hearing about people's their traditions and the things that they do in their family, because sometimes I like to add new ones. We have our basic ones that we do. I make grilled cheese, kind of fancier grilled cheese, gourmet grilled cheese, and tomato soup, and that's our Christmas Eve meal. And then Christmas morning, when the kids were little, I used to just make like either cinnamon rolls or like a Christmas casserole, something quick. So
Karen McElroy's watching. We had Jonathan Sims and Vicki Sparks.
Awesome. That's my cousin. She's awesome. We've been playing phone tag for a while, so I need to reach out to her again. So I have not forgotten.
You just told her.
I'm not avoiding you. I'm just, life gets crazy, you know that. So you can kind of see how I'm going up and out. And that's the biggest thing. I was going to show you this real quick. That it was really hard to do this, but I wanted to show you the difference between what it looks like when it's shaped like a branch versus how it usually comes out of your attic or wherever you're storing it. So you can see this doesn't really look like a tree as much as this one does. And it does take a little time to do it, but to watch a Christmas movie or something and just take your time. But I did that to these two. So I kind of just make it like almost like an S, where it just kind of a natural flow. So instead of just sticking them straight in, it just has a better feel if it's more natural, like if it were a branch. So I'm going to move this out of my way. And I had fun in making some of the stuff for the colors, because like I said, I really don't like to go buy new things. I like to reuse what I have, and this is just regular greenery that I had, and I painted it that kind of a teal color to add some of that color into the tree. so you don't always have to use Christmas stuff like again. And I just added a little glitter and made it kind of sparkly. Add glitter and paint, and then it's Christmas. Or at least to me it is. So a lot of the things that I'm going to use, this is all the stuff I'm going to use in the tree. And our cats have been annoying me. They have undone. Anyway, so I try to put a little bit of everything, for the most part, that I'm putting on the rest of the tree up at the top. But I saved the big, longer stems for the top. And I think I told y'all last time that I try to get as much out of a stem as I can. So these, I cut off several of these branches. And these were like, I got these at Walmart, like $3 for this one branch. And it was cream and flat, and so I painted it. I put some snow and a little bit of glitter on it. You probably can't see that here now, but when the light hits it, it will show. But one of the things I almost forgot, but I'm glad I didn't.
Sandy says hi.
Who?
Sandy Harper.
Oh, that's my aunt.
Mm-hmm.
That would be Vicky's aunt too. So I have noticed that a lot of times the tree will be so glittery and sparkly, but then the top won't be, it'll be kind of dead. So I started adding lights to it. And this is just, I got this at Walmart. You can hang them, but these are all wired, so you can shape it, bend it, however you want.
Jada's watching, and we got a hearts glowing.
Wow. Hearts back to you.
Stone's watching.
That's my boy. So I'm going to add this light, and then I'll turn it on and show you. It really does make a difference. And my friend Amy, she found something similar with their battery. This one is actually got a really long cord, and I'm going to run it down the center of the tree once I put it back on the tree. But she found some smaller branches. They look kind of like white branches, very similar to that tree I just showed you from Target. And they were, I think she said they were like $3 a piece, and they were in that, that little dollar section. I'm not trying to hide from you, I promise. I'll be so glad when I'm all done with this, whatever this stuff is. It's affecting my way I talk. But, yeah, like I said, I don't like dealing with lights because I'm not patient enough for it. But it does make a huge difference. And I think I mentioned last time that I'm working on, I would love to have my own Christmas line and fix some of the things that I didn't really like, that were troublesome, and one of the things is lights. I've got in my head this new lighting system that is going to be very easy to work with, and so we'll see. Okay, let me turn the lights on, and then you can kind of see what a difference it makes. Yeah, I couldn't believe I talked for, whoa, see? Isn't that so much better? And then just make sure, too, that you look on the package, because there's a big difference between warm white and cool white. And this is the warm white. I usually use warm white. But if I was using silvers, cool white is nice because it has a little bit of a blue tint to it. It's a little bit brighter. This one has, I don't know if you can tell, it's kind of got some different colors in there, but it's still warm, considered warm. So you just want to make sure you match whatever light you have in your tree. So, I can continue, and it doesn't have lights on the top, but when I put the top on, I've got these lights that I'm going to add to the top. So, Anyway. Yeah, we are getting further along on our nest. We are hoping to have a soft opening for friends and family. What we talk about January 3rd, I think. So since this is going to go in the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and add it so that it'll kind of give me a little body. And I'm just basically finding a spot to put it in and finding anything I can twist around it to anchor it. Like these lights are great because they're made out of wire. And this has a little bit of glitter and kind of a frosted pine.
Maria says, hey.
Maria Corey?
Uh-huh.
Hey, Maria. How are you? I know I can't hear her back, but... And feel free to use your nails to make it a little bit more stable for you, since I'm taking this off and I'm going to be giving this lovely red tree to our best friends Jeff and Amy for their barn. It just screams the brown barn, so that's where it's going. Its next trip. It's going to be kind of sad because this is a pretty amazing tree. So you kind of, and really it's just kind of making an arrangement up on the, and pretending like the tree is your styrofoam. I think I told y'all this before, but before I knew what I was doing, I would use dirt, and we'd have cats, and the cats would dig it all up, and I have to redo the arrangement. And I discovered styrofoam, and it was much, much, much better. I'm going to take this down a little bit like that. And I know I mentioned this last time, but I cannot, most of these stems are so thick that you have to have some really good wire cutters. These are Klein's, and that's the brand, but they're just heavy duty, and it makes it so much easier to cut. If you're trying to cut with just even a needle nose or something like that, it's just difficult. So
Those are big electrician pliers.
Oh yeah.
We call them Kleins.
Yep. And I have some dikes, which are diagonal wire cutters. Those I really like those too, but this one is better for the really thick. I'll show you in a minute when I was trying to cut, and it was all these little tiny wires all twisted together. That's the stuff that's so hard to cut because it just doesn't want to play. And I am not patient when it comes to stuff like that. I'm like, I got other stuff to do. I know pink and red is kind of unusual. This whole color scheme is a little unusual than your normal red and gray or any other. But I love thinking outside the box, and I had a little epiphany, is that what we call it, last night, and I realized that I'm thinking, what is something that makes me different? And there's a lot of things that make me different, but when it comes to this, and I think the thing is that I love to bring something unexpected, like, using pink with red, or I have these little trays. I'm going to put those on there. I saw those and I thought, they say Merry Christmas. They're kind of on their own. I'm like, they're okay, but it's going to look pretty cool up in that. It's going to kind of copy that look. So you're probably thinking, well, how am I going to attach it? And that's where the glue skillet comes in and those chenilles, which I left them in there. But whenever I get ready to do this, I'll show you. And I am so bad about, I will do this and then I'll start doing this over here, so I am not going to do that for y'all. I'm going to try to stay with and do it in the order. I want to show you these wonderful, I love these, and I found these. Yes, thank you. My cats, every time they find these will be all over the house. They love them. You don't have to buy them any toys, just get them some chenilles. But this, I just thought was so yummy, and it's all these little glass beads. Got it at Ross, and these were like, they were $3.99, not expensive at all. But I just thought I loved the sparkle to them and the gold wrap stems. So,
Hey, Chuck.
Hi, Chuck. That's our friend who was just our KJ karaoke what do you call it? Karaoke disc jockey? Anyway, now he's our friend at the Rebel.
I think it just said KJ.
KJ. Anyway, he makes the best smoked meats. He smoked bologna, spicy bologna, but I don't know if you can see how just adds like a little, like jewelry almost, tree jewelry. But they were not expensive at all. And also, I was able to cut 3 of those off. Those are the ones I was telling you that were just horrible in the ends, but I was able to cut some off of these stems, so I'm going to be able to use them down in the tree to restate what I put up here. And I am probably going to cut this again, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let's see. Kevin, can you get that right there? You see all these little tiny wires? I mean, like when I go to cut this, it's not going to be fun. But, I'm sorry. I did it. I did it. Well, the last time I did it, it didn't do that, so let's just get it.
Some help?
No, maybe. So, if you just get a good, grip on it, and then just do the back and forth thing, but this is, that's where all those little wires are. Finally. See? Do you see that?
Yeah.
Oh. Shouldn't complain. I bought them. Sometimes, whenever I look at these, I think, oh, I hope children didn't make these. I know that's kind of Debbie Downer, but I just can't imagine sitting around threading these beads, wrapping all that. And go straight down your center pole so that you don't have the end of your stem sticking out the other side. just love how when that light hits it, it's just like, see how I'm spreading it out from the way it was? Because it just kind of covers more surface. And it feels like it didn't just come out of the box. I need some. This little. I'm going to have to tie that to the pole because I don't really have anything close by to twist it to. I'm going to use a red one so I can kind of hide it. I don't personally like to spend a lot of time on the back. I did have some clients, they wanted it all the way around, even if you didn't see it. But I don't want to waste anything, and if you can't see it, then it's just kind of a waste. This red tree is when you start in the attic, all of them do it, but they shed so bad. Another thing, I want to design some trees that don't shed and don't get hard and brittle and hurt your hands. You know, you put everything, you try to prepare, and now it's all sticking together. I love these. I've had these for years, and they are just like real wispy green branches that have been like iced or sugared. And once again, it just adds to the sparkle. These branches right here actually came from my yard. And that's another thing. I have a lot of resources in my yard and my friends' yards to gather things. And I'm telling you, if you look around your house, you'll probably find stuff that you didn't even think that you could put in your tree. See how that's more wispy and kind of flowy. I think that's what kind of makes the trees look a little bit more professional or upscale, is when the topper is just like bam. And you definitely want it to scream what your theme is. One year I got these wonderful little elf legs, and they had them coming out of the top, which I know you've seen them. One year I did these snowmen, and I might do a video on that because that was so fun. I made snowmen out of sweaters. That's been around. I've done that back in the, probably early 90s. But, a lot of people, younger girls, or women in their late 20s, early 30s, all that kind of stuff they don't know about. And so just because we've seen it as older ladies, have seen it doesn't mean that it's still not, you can always change it a little bit and make it more current. But take an old idea. But I have loved those sweater snowmen, and I'll have to do that for y'all. But I don't like anything to waste, so I made little snow worms out of the sleeves, and they were bright colors. And then I just made a little head and a face and little top hats, and they would be kind of sneaking out of the tree. And then I just did. That was a year we didn't really have a lot of money, and so I was trying to think of something that would get a big bang for very little bucks. And I used curling ribbon, which is like, usually I don't use that much. It does have its place, but and then I did the snowman. I used the snow, the batting, I made snow, and then I did poster board, and I wrote like this way to the North Pole and fur and just anything related to snowmen, and it was pretty good, pretty cute tree.
We got some more watching. Valerie.
Valerie?
Yeah.
How's Luna?
Beth.
Beth?
Shopa? I don't know. And she tagged Gwen McCartney Allred.
Oh, yeah.
And Sydney Franks.
Yes. Oh, those girls are so precious. I just like, it's making me remember when our girls were little, and it was so fun to dress them. And Sydney and Gunnar, they're so precious. I did their wedding, and they were letting me do something crazy. I hung, you have to see it, but I hung I call it the Tunnel of Love. Everybody thinks she's the weirdest thing. But anyway, down the center aisle, and this fabric and greenery hanging from branches, and it was a chore to do it, but it was fun. Okay, I'm getting close. You can even, like if you have maybe some greenery in your house that, you can take that out and then use that if you want to in your tree. You can do frames and then either print something that goes with your theme, or like one year I did like all the different names of Jesus, like Yahweh and Prince of Peace, and so I made banners, but you could also write that or print it out on your printer and just frame it in some inexpensive frames, and then just glue ribbon to it and hang it, or glue a Chanel on the back. And that's easy. And the dollar store is like, they've got so many things that on its own they're okay, but you change it a little bit and it becomes like, wow. Yeah, my nice little bucket of stuff is just a disaster. So, isn't that so pretty? Pink and this glittery white poinsettia. And the first time that I was corrected by a lady that taught me a lot, Cindy Harris. I hope she's doing okay. But she was like, they're poinsettias, and I thought, well, that sounds so pretentious. I can't say poinsettia. That sounds like I'm trying to be all fancy. But
Bridget's watching. You got a bunch of hearts going. Somebody threw a bunch of hearts. Is that how you say that? Threw a bunch of hearts. Throw. Tapped. I don't know. What's the correct protocol there?
So these are going to be in the tree as well, so make that up front and center. That's another thing. On shaping, each one of these has wire. So you can shape them different ways. Some people do them like this, where they go down, and that's completely acceptable. I kind of like to do it like, I do it different ways, so whichever way you're feeling. Don't forget to shape the leaves just in case they show. So I've got one there. I'm probably going to do one a little bit lower down here, like that, to balance it. And then I will put one in the back, just in case, I don't know, my neighbor decides to come up and he can see the back of the tree. He's not going to do that. I love this little beaded stem, but it is working my last nerve. Okay. I know you can't see it back here, but it makes me feel better that it's back here. These are just everyday. It's not Christmas. I got these at Walmart. I saw them. I was like, well, that's perfect. Because you need little extra things to fill the tree up and add a little sparkle. And you want to try to create that color scheme kind of throughout. So by putting elements that you put in the top down the bottom, it kind of makes it all blend. Yeah, my friend Amy said, she's always got great ideas, but she said, you should, since I don't really do Christmas, I say I don't do Christmas really professionally anymore. I do it for my family and my friends. But she said, you should just do the topper, and then they can do the tree. Which is a thought, because especially now that I've taught myself how to do it the easier way. I'm just, I'm kind of just balancing it, and once again, I'm not really putting it in permanently because I want it to come out easy. So now we get to add some of this teal. Just little hints of it. Yeah, normally I either have my tree up really, really early, like in September, because when I was decorating all those years, I would, if I didn't do it before, since the season started, I'd just be too tired and I'd just throw something together, and I didn't want to do that to my family, but they probably couldn't care less. I don't know.
Abby's watching.
Amy's in...
Abby.
Who?
Abby.
Oh, Abby? My little niece, Abby? Or a different Abby?
Abby Brown.
Oh, Abby Brown. She's like, I don't know, I consider her kind of, sort of like a daughter-in-law-ish, because Nick is kind of like a son-ish. You know how you've got your friends' kids that you just love, so. Okay, well, we're getting really close to putting this back on the tree. Now, this is probably that takes the longest part, so the rest will go pretty quick. These, I love these. I've had these for years, but they remind me of like little bitty baby snowballs. They're little, like, not velvety, but you know. I need some white. I thought you said Amy, and they are rainbow rings. Let's do one of these. I still can't believe it's Christmas is this month. It's crazy. And I know when you say those things, it makes you sound super old because time just goes by so fast.
You got a couple of people watching on Twitch too.
Oh, cool. My boys would play Call of Duty, and we had, it sounded nicer than it was, but we did have a pretty cool theater in our house when we lived next door to Jeff and Amy, and they would play their video games on a big 8-foot screen with the projector, and so I'd go up there to try to see if I could play with them, and it was a joke. I didn't know how to do it. Going in the corner, and I'd spin around, and I don't know which way it was up, and they're like, Mom, push this, and I can't do it. So all I'm doing is making those loops again, where I'm just pinching it and pushing it in, and I'm only going to do really one side. And see how I've got this where it's offset a little bit, so this is longer than this side. Same thing with that. You got one longer, one shorter. And you want to kind of separate them. Then come in the back and push it in, or you can lay it down, whichever's easier for you. I've tried to teach people how to make bows, and it is one of those things that's very hard to explain what your hand's doing. And most of the time people are gripping the ribbon too tight, and then it starts coming out, and you're frustrated. So that's kind of my loops and tails, faux bow. And I'm going to use the chenille. Place it in the middle, and then pull this forward, and then do the little twist. What's wonderful is that man that's over there in his big long thing, he is making sure that whatever you're getting to see what I'm doing, and I don't have to worry about like staying in a certain place. I'm sure he's wishing I would stay in a place. But so see that spot right there? It's like I kind of got a hole. And you're probably thinking, you got a hole there, but that's where this ribbon's going to come in. So I'm just going to get right in there. Get the chenille. And you want the center of your bow to go pretty close to the pole, so that it's kind of like it's coming out of the, so. And I'll adjust some of this when we get it back on top. See, I love how that's bringing out. It's almost like I'm mimicking that little pattern. I didn't really mean to do that, but I love it when that happens.
I'm watching the automatic captions as you speak,
Yeah.
and you said Phobo,
A phobo.
but F-A-U-X, right?
Yeah.
But the caption said Bobo.
Like F-O.
B-O-B-O.
Oh. Whatever. This, when we get up there, I'll show you. We'll address that, but kind of the same thing. You want to bend it so it's like that banner.
Beth says it's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. So the bows, or the ribbon, is what's going to be kind of anchoring. It makes it all kind of make sense. So, and the top usually gets 3 of these. Sometimes I make these a little bit longer, just so I have a little bit more to bring down, but I don't think I did it that way this time. Yeah, I love all the different Christmas stuff, and every year all the new stuff comes out, and I'm like, oh, that looks cool. So I do sometimes. If I see something that really is unique or different, I might splurge and get a few pieces of it just to kind of bring some of it in. But
Liz Biles is watching. Liz where, Biles?
oh yeah, I gotta.
Change the...
I know. We have friends that I knew them before they got married, and I can't call them anything but their old name, even though they were married. Now, Abby Brown, I've had Abby Brown, and I've had her name Brown in my phone, so I really don't even know what. I think it's a Weingarten or something like that. Help me out. Am I even close? It's just been Brown. Because I knew you were going to be a Brown from the first time I met you. We're going to Lubbock for Christmas this year, and I'm going to be able to, I will maybe go to Lisa Linz's house where I used to do her Christmas and show you the sleigh. It was pretty amazing. Me and Randy McGee, he was like my dad, but where he just made whatever I wanted or asked for, but he always took it to another level because he's pretty darn creative too. Go right in here. And one more. I think I'm almost about ready to add the birds, the lovebirds. Oh, we're lovebirds. Tell you what, that is something that is such a blessing to really enjoy your spouse and still really like them after the kids are gone and it's just the two of you, and then, heaven forbid, if you don't like your spouse and they're retired, then you're like stuck with them. But we're having more fun now, I think, than we did when we were younger. Okay. Last little bow. I'm going to put it right here. Okay, let me put the birds in. I may move them. I don't know. We'll see. See, it's a little lovebirds. Aren't they sweet? So now I can't find my branch anymore. No, there it is. One thing I don't like is when they're real branches, you can't always put things where you want them. Because that does not bend. Let's see that. He doesn't want to. I'm going to call this one Kevin. He's not wanting to behave. Just kidding. That's me, probably. I know what I'm going to do.
Cousin Jason is watching.
What? Jason? I could say so many things that would embarrass him, but I am not going to do it. Actually, I'd probably embarrass Honey more. His wife is named Honey, and that is very interesting shopping with her because I have to call her name. I'm like, Honey. Honey. It is a sweet name. She's so sweet. No, she is wonderful. She loves, no, I won't set her up for that. Never mind. What happened to my other bird? Oh, there it is. I'm going to give another branch, so. Okay. So I need to put Kevin's bird up high because he's the protector. That's perfect. See? Okay. One last thing. Because I put these little branches out here, this would be a good place to hang some of your special ornaments or your glass ornaments. And I'd probably do them with fishing line, or I could just do it like that.
Kristen's watching.
Kristen
Frankie's
Cole.
watching.
Frankie from the row. I love Frankie. I love her little meme she posts on Facebook. They're hilarious.
Jason says he's watching you decorate while watching Honey decorate.
Oh. Honey. Well, I should say this. They used to be, they didn't celebrate Christmas. Let's just say that. And so now they do. And she knocks it out of the park. I mean, she's a really good decorator.
Our Lloyd is watching.
Oh, hey, Russ. Yeah. His name is Russ Lloyd, but we refer to him as R. Lloyd. Sounds like her. I hate when I just have one, and I thought, well, maybe I could just do this one here, but I might put it. I'll put one there somewhere. Okay, are we ready? Put it on. I had to wrap a paper towel around it. My stand was a little top heavy. And I'll have to readjust that top because I knew I was going to make it too big. I'm scratching the ceiling. Oh, Kevin, you're way up there. Go big or go home, right? We're from Texas, so yeah, I'm going to have to get a ladder. See how when it was down here, that looked good. But now that I'm down here, I just need to pull this down. Okay, I can kind of adjust that a little bit, but we'll get to that in a minute. So, next thing is pretty much the topper. See, the lights do make a huge difference because otherwise it would be kind of dark up there. But, so, I need to add those lights real quick. And, like I said, this is not the best. I'm using a LED curtain light as my lights because the green of the regular lights would show, and so would the white. So this is kind of somewhat neutral, and it's what I had. So that's why I went with it. So I'm just kind of going in to the pole, trying to find something to hook it on if I can, and then coming back out. And I was going to cut all these red wires off, but I didn't have it in me. You're not going to see it anyway, so it's going to have too much stuff on it.
Russ says you need to decorate the White House Christmas trees next year.
Oh, yeah. Hey, if you could talk to Trump, that'd be great. I'd love to do that.
Barry Weinstein is watching. Hey, Barry.
Thanks, Barry. Hope you and Renee are doing good. I think I heard not all of the kids, but Bradley just got married, I believe. Okay, so now you can see that even though it's kind of wrapped a little bit, but you can see this black pole. Nobody wants to see that. So this is my little trick that I've been doing for years. And you can do a multitude of things. Fabric. You can do cellophane. That batting for snow. My favorite thing, if it works with my theme, is this cellophane. It's very loud, so I'm going to have to, you might have to turn some music on or mute me or something, because when I do this, it's going to be loud. But I'm going to start off with, this is just a very inexpensive, well-cut, no, I just kind of tore it, plastic tablecloth. And you're thinking, why are you putting that on that tree? But I'm going to take the end and I'm going to go in the middle and I'm going to feed it up through the top. I'm going to leave a bunch of slack in it so I can kind of pull on it later, because you don't have to get it, you're not really, don't wind it around the pole. So loosely kind of go back and forth and give yourself as much leeway as you can, or slack. And I'll show you what we'll do after that. But this is basically to add a little bit of that color, a different color. If you, red cellophane would look great because it's a little sparkly, but you'll see when I put the iridescent cellophane. And actually, this one is not cellophane. It is this 2-ply tablecloth that it was like a paperback, and then this was on top of it. So I separated them to get through this, and because it has a little bit more texture, it's almost like it's linen, kind of. So I'll put that on top of the pink, and it'll make more sense. But if you don't do this first.
Penny's watching. Terry Roberts is watching.
Oh, hey, Terry.
Hey, Penny.
Who else?
Penny.
Oh, Penny Williams.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Penny. Yeah, if you don't do this at first, you're going to kind of, you can do it later, but I don't recommend it because it's kind of a pain. And you could actually do this if you wanted to before you shaped your tree, but I didn't because obviously I'm going to show you. Oh, you gotta love being older, menopause. And in my house, it's probably 60 degrees in here, and I'm sweating. If anybody knows anything to stop that, I would be so grateful. I've tried several different things, and nothing's working. Apparently, I took that after my grandmother.
Actually, it's 73 in here.
Oh, can you turn it down, please?
Okay, sure.
I'm dying here. I'm not literally dying, but you know me. So, okay. You can kind of see it, but you really won't see much of it. You'll see hints of it later. Tell me if this gets too loud. I was doing a conference, and I'm in the foyer doing this, and literally they can hear it in the auditorium. They're like, "You're being really loud." I'm like, "I'm sorry, I'm just trying to decorate this tree." And these, this is just one tablecloth. It's probably all you need unless you have a really big tree. But it's like $3.98 for the tablecloth. I don't like to spend a lot of money on especially stuff like this. I want to save, have a few like really nice wow things. Oh, this is a shout out to our Lloyd. Russ made this pipe for Kevin. You getting it? This needs a moment of its own. It is so smooth. He sanded it. I think it's cherry wood? Briarwood. And if you could see, it's just the detail and the wood, and he left this little raw edge, and he's got a lot of compliments on it over the years. Smokes it pretty much every weekend. Don't tell his mom.
Chelsea's watching.
Well, hey, Chelsea. Chelsea's birthday is in November, and she is my Christmas girl. She loves Christmas, and so for her birthday every year, since she's been an adult, pretty much, I have done her Christmas for her birthday present in November, which is November 9th is her birthday. So she has Christmas up a lot sooner than some people, but she's not ashamed of it. I taught her well. Except for she doesn't want to do it on her own, which I know she can. Sorry, I'm trying to do this part fast because it's a little annoying. But I'm just kind of, I don't know if you can see, I'm just kind of laying it in there. However, and you'll go back in and adjust it at the very end. I also learned another little trick that if you will take a picture of your tree after you think you're done, and you'll be surprised at how many dead spots or holes there are. And so then you know exactly right where you need them. Because you know you have that person that's not decorating that's always like going, you got a hole there, you got a hole there, and you're like, I'm getting to it. But then sometimes you don't. But when you take a picture, you will actually really see exactly where you need to add.
You might tell people about the 40-second delay.
Oh yeah, it's got a little bit of a delay, which Kevin just said. A 40-second delay, so.
By the time we film it, it's about 40 seconds before you see it. 20 to 40.
I know, I can see myself in the TV in the living room, and it's not what I'm delayed, so it's like, what? Oh. I'm going to save a couple of these pieces out so that I can fill a hole.
That's really loud.
I know, I'm sorry. I'm almost done with the loud stuff. And like I said, they were like, we can hear that in the auditorium. Like, oh, I'm sorry. Storm. Okay. All done with the loud stuff. Okay. So, my next thing I'm going to do is, I don't always do it the same way every time because I get bored of things. I'm not a creature of habit. I like doing things. My husband calls me the new girl because I'll change my hair color or something, but I've pretty much decided I like my own natural hair color now. I never thought I'd ever say that if I was a diehard going to be blonde, which I know the ends are still blonde, but my hair is so much healthier now that it's not got a lot of chemicals on it. So, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the ribbon because it takes up quite a bit of space, and you want to make sure that it's kind of starting your placing. And it's like, and I'll adjust this, so don't judge that right there. But say this is the front. Actually, it kind of needs to be like that. Anyway, so that's the front. And what you're trying to create is almost like the dots on dice. You're doing either like a line this way or diagonal. So if you start something right here, then you're going to want to have something here, and then here, and then here. So you'll see, and if my ribbon goes this way on the top, And I'm probably going to, even though I have this loop over here, I don't see it as much as that one, so my loop is going to go that direction. Yeah, I still can't believe that I'm actually doing this, because I never in a million years, but don't say, what is it? They say you never say never. So I'm probably going to cringe when I look back at this and go, oh my gosh, I say so many times, or I, we all have our thing. So, and if you feel more comfortable not holding it, you could just do this loop and then put your Chanel on it, and then do that loop, and then do that loop, and then connect them. It's faster for me to do it this way, so, but you do it however is the most comfortable for you. You see, I'm kind of separating, so I don't want like all the same. I want you to see all three of the ribbons. Oh, I'll also show you something else. You can do this. See how I have the triple balls in the middle of that bow right there? You can also do that here. So I have
It's almost 9 o'clock.
It's 9 o'clock.
No, it's 10 till.
Oh.
8 till. I was just saying it was close.
So I've already grouped the same colors together. So I could put it right here in the middle of that. But I'm not going to this round. I'm just going to, I may put something in there different. See how that ribbon's going to be going this direction? Kind of kick out like that. I'm going to hide my stuff. This one's going to go that way.
Got Levy on camera.
Who?
Levy.
Oh, Levy. Stinker. We've never had cats that are the kind that want to knock off stuff. And these cats they'll just come up here and just knock stuff off, just for the sake of knock. And if I have my pills out, she loves to get them out and just, so probably for like a week, or at least a week, I didn't even know she was taking my pills and stealing them. So I thought I took them. So, anyway. Bad girl. But she's so sweet. Yes, the next thing I'm going to do soon is they are going to have their own room, and they're going to go live every day. But I'm going to make them a little town, or whatever you call it, on the walls.
I'm going to call it a cat house.
A cat house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Buddy Love and Lovey Dove. Wild cat house, because no telling what you're going to see, because they are something else. my younger daughter, Olivia, she went to a place in, I think it was Taos or it was New Mexico. I can't remember exactly. It might have been Albuquerque, but I think it was more like Taos or something. And it's, I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's called Meow Wolf, and it is incredible. I want to build one, something similar, but a little different. Maybe one day. So the little cat house is going to kind of be similar to that. Very eclectic. And okay, so see how I'm doing one here. So I'm kind of making a diagonal, and my ribbon is, the gold is going out this way since that one went out that way. And you don't do it on the very end. I would say you go right in kind of the, not midway, but not deep in there either. Closer to the end. You definitely want to see some of the tree like that. You want to bring it up and I'm going to go back and adjust all this ribbon because that is where I don't know when to stop because I'm so picky about how every little thing.
Enjoyed it, Jason. Thanks for watching. Love y'all too. He's signing off.
Okay. I can be really sarcastic, and I was going to say something sarcastic, but I think I'm not going to. What? Uh-oh. Oh, hey. Come here, buddy. He's not the prettiest cat, but he loves me so much, don't you? Don't you, buddy? We named him after Kevin's dad. And I'm glad I did a lot of this beforehand because it's still taking a while. But I want to get to, make sure I get to where we're putting all the picks and stuff. And I don't know if you noticed, but I kind of finished my garland. I don't know why I put that there, but I think I was letting them dry. Those were just wooden from, I don't know where I got those from, probably Hobby Lobby. They're just like natural. And I just spray painted them with white paint, and I sprinkled some real coarse glitter on them, and voila, it took about 5 seconds to do that. Because if you sprinkle the glitter on there while it's painted, the paint is still wet, it'll just stick. So you don't have to actually add spray adhesive. You could if you wanted to, but it's not really necessary. Okay, sweet girl. You think this looks good on Levy? Is this a good look? Okay, so see how that goes there. So this is gonna go. It's hard to have to step back sometimes, but.
Amy Brown is watching.
What? From Belize?
I don't believe it.
I don't believe it. So I guess she survived her snorkeling trip. I knew she would. I am very, very jealous because I hate the winter. I would love to be snorkeling or on the beach. They went and sang karaoke. We try to do that everywhere we go. we've gone to several places in the Keys and Helen, Georgia, and but the place that they went, hopefully it gets better, but there's just very few people there, kind of dead. We're used to the Rebel, and it's not dead. It's amazing. Amazing food, amazing people. And if you'd have told me even 10 years ago that I would be a regular at a biker bar named the Rebel, you would be like,
You're kind of a big deal.
oh, whatever.
Everywhere you go,
Yeah.
everywhere she goes, somebody says, "Do you sing at the Rebel?"
I try.
Oh, Amy's about to crash.
Oh. Well, thanks for watching. Can't wait to hear about your trip. Okay, I'll add some more ribbon in the back later, but I'm not gonna take the time to do it for y'all. So, because I want to get to the next thing. Okay. You see how much room that took up, and if I had spent all the time putting ornaments or anything else on it, it would have, it would have taken up that space. So the next thing I'm going to do is do the triple balls. And I think I told y'all last time the reason I do that is because I'm really don't like to take the time. I'm impatient putting one ornament on at a time. So I'm like, oh, let's group them together and we'll go 3 times as fast. He stole them, didn't he? Watch him. And he plays fetch like a dog. But I can't always get him to bring it to me. Buddy, bring it. No, he's too excited about it. So I'm going to go down straight from there. And this is going to be a little bit closer to the end of your bow. Where the bow breaks. So you're kind of filling in the spots where it feels right. And when you take your picture, you might have to adjust it and go, oh, that needs to go over just a little bit. Are you watching? Here. They would drive her nuts. And here's another thing. I've had this bag for years. I think I bought it when I got that at either Pier 1 or Marketplace. Or not Market. No, what's that? What's the name of that? World Market. But I loved it. And now it all works. People ask me why I keep all this stuff, because I use it. Okay, so that's there. So right here. Yeah, you would love to get into this, wouldn't you? I did a new little thing at Amy's house. I did I used the same kind of concept as the balloon garland, but with ball ornaments, and so like big ones and little ones. But then I just clustered them and kind of did almost like a swag, like a big S with the balls.
Keisha's watching.
Oh, hey, Keisha. I thought about giving you a call because I had a question for her. I can't remember now what it was. I don't know if this is happening to y'all, but I think it's COVID, but it could be just old age. But I cannot, for the life of me, remember stuff. And I kind of was thinking, well, I sure hope I don't forget what I'm doing while I'm doing this. So far, I haven't. So you just basically are wanting to separate it where it's even.
Hannah's watching.
Hannah?
Mm-hmm.
Hannah who?
Fitzgerald.
Oh, that Hannah. Well,
Yep.
we know several Hannahs, so.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Hannah. She told me that I look the same, but my voice sounded different, which I said last time. I'm like, probably because I was still kind of getting over something. Okay, so I did the cluster, the triple. It looks like berries to me. Now I'm going to go back with the poinsettia or poinsettia. You can say it however you want. And just make sure you shape it. So that one's there, and then this one's here. So it needs to kind of go right there. And all I do in these, and you can, if you want to take your time and wire them on or use a Chanel or whatever, you can. But when it comes time to take it down, I'm all about wanting to come down fast. Now my cats may decide they want to take it all apart. So now I'm going right here. And see how this came unglued? That's one thing about the attic. I will say that it heats up the glue and then it releases. So I just put a little bit of glue. That's why I have it on, to repair stuff as I'm doing it. Otherwise it won't get done. See, I just glue it right back.
You got your glue skillet over there?
Yes. So I have the stickers from Goodwill, $4.99, and I just use. This is actually just a glue stick that I melted. I need to get some more glue pellets. They're like a little. You can get the beads, or you can get the little. They look like little pillows, gold pillows.
Those are pillows.
What movie is that from? Anyone?
That's the.
You can't say it.
No, I was going to say that's the trivia question for the
trivia
week.
question. Those aren't pillows. Say, why did you just kiss my ear? Why are you holding my hand?
Here's Buddy Love going at it.
What's he doing? Oh, what are you? Oh, playing with that Chanel.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you, for me, it is more like a feeling than, when I put something, place it, like, does that feel right? Like, yes. But I only have a couple more. You really want, and if you buy stuff, it's good to buy things like in 3s, 5s, 7s, 9s. Just because typically it's just an odd number, but not always. Just depending on how much your tree is showing. I think I'm going to put it right here, so I think that will show more than down there. And I know what I'm going to do. Remember how I told you I felt like I needed to put that third one back behind, but nobody's seeing it. So I'm going to steal it. If I don't think you'll miss it back here. Well, now I got it in there too. Well, I might change later. Because it desperately needs one right there. And this is where I like to group some things together. And if you put something together, I think it's nice for you the next year that it all stays together. So you don't have to redo it unless you're changing your theme. And then they get a little bit of I've also forgotten one of the big things. So, these are actual bird's nests that I made, because my name is Robin. And no, I'm not going to name my nest Robin's Nest, which several people have said. But I just made these are made out of grass for my yard. And I spray painted it gold, because of the golden years, and with that coarse glitter again. So I've got some small ones, and this is one of the bigger ones. So I'm probably going to want to put the bigger one down at the bottom, but we'll save that one. And I'll find one of the smaller ones. So we can sit it right there. Now, remember, I ordered the little birds that I'm probably going to put in there once I get them. The thing about Buddy, these trees, is they really do hold stuff so easy. Like, you don't have to always attach everything. Like this, I'm not going to attach, but once again, you could if you wanted to, but it's not really necessary. So each one of these is going to have, like, this will have a Chelsea bird, an Olivia bird, stone bird, and then a Briggs bird. Then I have to have another one for my grandkids, or I'll put them I'm afraid if I put that too low, then those guys are going to think they're going to get to play with it. Another thing I like to do is, like, if there's a light nearby, you can actually direct those lights a little bit to highlight either, an ornament, or for this, in this case, the glitter on the nest. I also have these nests. I didn't make these, but I could put them up there, but I may end up using them for something else. But okay, back to this. So I cut these. There are going to be some that have 3 pieces of pine on them, 2. So The bigger ones I'm going to put down at the bottom. Just add just going to layer it. I'm going to dip this in glue just because there's not really a place for me to attach it. It's just a gold leaf. You could use leaves if you have magnolia tree or anything like that. It'll actually last through this Christmas season. And don't forget to shape things. If you go one way and then go the other way, see how it just kind of, instead of it being just in a straight line, can you see the difference? Yes? Okay.
I was in the overhead shot.
Okay. Sorry. Didn't realize. These are like little mini tree arrangements. So you're kind of doing a mini version of that topper. And I've had this tree, it's actually a tree like that, and I just ended up taking all these off so I can add it to a little iciness. That just kind of popped right out. It's like, no. Let's see what else. We got that. Okay. Probably, I'm going to save these to add to the tree because it's really not going to do much for that. I mean, unless you put it back here. But I think it'll work better if I put it just in the tree like that to hide as a hole filler. I'll use these. Just wrap them with the chenille. Just make sure you leave yourself enough room to tie it on. But we're going to make several of these. There's actually enough for 9. So that's going to go like right in there. So see how it's mimicking that, but it's bringing it down here. And I'm taking the chenille. So you're not going to see this in. I'm going to put that in the tree, and then I will find a good spot and just twist it. And just make some adjustments so that you see all the stuff that you put in there. You know, one thing I think that it's needing is a little bit of red. I did pull these. There's all kinds of. Some that's a little orangier than others. No, it's not playtime. Looks like I have most of that color. Patty. So these little berry clusters. So I think that just kind of makes it. Let's try that. And then don't worry, we can put an ornament right there or something else. So, and I'm just kind of doing this fast, so y'all don't have to wait on me.
What's for supper?
I don't know. Maybe we need to order pizza. I don't know. Pizza doesn't really sound good.
Yeah, it'll get here at 10 o'clock. That's healthy.
Yeah. Oh, see? They're always doing something. But I love them. That was weak. So, this is going to go right here. Even that. Yeah, just, kind of adjust it to make sure you're seeing all the different elements. Let me show you how to do this real quick. It's upside down. So I kind of want it like that. You can see kind of where you want it. You don't really want to hang it like just hang it. You want to kind of tuck it in, maybe tilt it a little bit. So I'm going to put my chenille more. I don't need a whole one.
Rosella had meatloaf.
Meatloaf, I love meatloaf. Did you make mashed potatoes to go with it?
It's going to take her about 40 seconds to answer that.
Oh, okay. I want to know what she has with her meatloaf. Cause
Rosella, tell us what you had with your meatloaf.
Okay, I'm just gluing that to the back. It doesn't take that long for it to dry. But you do want to let it dry. And all I did was just fold it like that, dip the ends in my glue skillet, and since that one was going to go like that, and this one's going to go like that, so that was a little bit hot. Has it been 40 seconds?
Yeah, she's having peas.
Peas, yeah, peas is good.
She said yup, so I don't know if yup means she had potatoes and peas, or
Probably.
just peas.
No, probably she had potatoes and peas.
Yeah, probably so.
Okay, I have a few of the bigger balls that are just singles, and I'm going to start kind of filling in some spots. And I'll just go in and tie it behind. Like that. And then this looks like a good spot.
Yes, it's official. Potatoes and peas.
Yeah, it's kind of like a, I don't know.
You have to have potatoes.
Yeah, sometimes I have asparagus, sometimes we'll have peas, sometimes we'll have...
Robin's peas also, well, everything she cooks is amazing.
Oh, well.
But the peas she makes with heavy cream and
Butter, garlic.
garlic, chicken fajita seasoning, the CFS, the
Yeah.
Copeland family seasoning that we love.
Oh, now you're making me hungry. My kids used to fight over the juice from the peas because it was that basically it's just cream, butter, garlic, yumminess.
Delish.
Let's see. Not too close. No. Almost forgot where I was going to put it at. I'm going to show you this real quick because this was a big thing for a while, and I still like mesh. It's because I think it was kind of overdone a little bit maybe when it first came out, and then people kind of got tired of it. But so what you can do with, I'm not sure I really like this with this tray just because it looks a little whimsical, like for maybe a candy cane tray or something, but if you just make like almost same thing as like a loop, and you can put it, kind of tuck it in. And I love how it kind of just curls on its own, and you cut it at an angle, and it just kind of twists. So it's a good filler. But I don't know if I like it on this tree. But it does take up a lot of space, and it makes it feel sparkly and let's make a few more of these. I must be so glad when all this cold weather stuff goes away. God, I'm so tired of my nose ringing. And I will show you how you can, if you don't want to do the little mini arrangement things, you can just place them individually. And there. Keep trying to put it in upside down. I don't like it when there's a place I want to put it, but it really doesn't. That's too forward. That's not bad. So instead of doing the little arrangements, you can take this and you're still doing the same thing. So you can just place it there. So see how that's going this way, this is going that way. So you want to alternate it back and forth like that. So you can do it that way. And then just start filling in, spaces. I like it more like that, clustered personally, but either way is fine. Because you can just see where so I'm going to go ahead and I'll probably change it later, but I kind of wanted to show you the finished look. So that's why I'm trying to do it a little quicker. What am I missing? Oh, I'll put it right there. Yeah, and I typically will leave my tree up, especially if I got it up late, which this year I did. So I will probably leave it up till end of January, or whenever there's a first sign of any kind of spring, or I get a spring cleaning fever. Because I don't know about y'all, but whenever your tree goes down, it's like it feels like you think, what did I have there? I mean, because it feels so naked and so empty. But it's always nice to clean and you feel like you kind of get a fresh start. So see, it's like a feeling. I don't know how to explain it other than it feels right. And the other thing I was going to talk to you about was the tree skirt. My thoughts on it, they make some beautiful tree skirts, but it's almost to me like a waste sometimes because a lot of them don't seem to come out further than your tree, or they do just a little bit, but then you, start putting packages on it, and then you can't see it at all. So I don't really like to spend money on mats, even though, I do, if you can and you want to, surely you can, but I just want you to be able to see it. So I have done several things. This tree is probably going to get a rug. I've used everything from a quilt to a sheet, just something that matches. But let me grab it real quick. I'll be right back. So this is what I'm going to use. It's kind of a cream. It's got light baby pink. But I'm going to show you what I'm talking about, how it doesn't necessarily, and I wouldn't use this one, but it's kind of small, and you don't really see it that much. And that's not even tied up. But you're really just trying to cover your stand. So, voila. I also found these, and I thought these were really fun. Because it kind of, since I'm doing the bird theme, it seems like it's kind of woodsy and wintry. And this would be a good thing to maybe put in the middle of these loops and tails. Yes, no. It's kind of hard to tell, but yeah, I wish Rosella hadn't mentioned that meatloaf, because now I'm really hungry.
She says she likes the white rug.
It's a rag rug, and it's just like lots of
Did you say a rag rug?
rag rug.
A rag rug.
Like pieces of fabric, rags. They aren't really rags, but that's
You know, I
good.
think
She's still,
we need to get Grams to watch this. We have the girls.
yeah.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to show you one last thing. I'll probably go back and I'll post a picture of it when it's completely all done, but really I'm doing it mainly to show you the different elements that go into it, and I think I've covered pretty much all of it. Wouldn't that be a cute little bouquet for sort of a little, maybe a flower girl?
Too cute.
Precious. So where does this go? I'm thinking definitely need one right up here. I'll do all these little tweaking things, and then I'll take a picture of it and post it, because I have lots of little things that I'm going to show you. Like my bathroom, I have a mantle over the window. I know it sounds weird, but it's that unexpected thing. and I have a really pretty garland that's on the mantle over my bathtub. So I will show you some of those things and little things you can do with your kitchen, little things, just little hints of Christmas. And that's what I was going to say. My friend Missy that's in Lubbock, I love to go to her house at Christmas, or any holiday really, but Christmas especially, because she's very nostalgic. And so I remember some of the stuff from when we were younger, like newlyweds, and but she just has all a cute. It's just really well done, and you can tell she enjoys doing it, and it always looks really nice. And I enjoy going down to people's houses and seeing how they do their Christmas. And
Shelley Everett says, "Hey Kevin, hey Robin,
how's that?
the
puppy?
tree looks beautiful."
Oh, thank you.
Hey Shelley,
How's that puppy?
tell everyone hey.
She's got her grandpuppy, I think, or it's her, I don't know, her new baby. So precious. Okay, I'm going to show you one more thing, and then we're going to call it a night. I'll have to get some more of that, but one last little thing, and I'm sure probably when you see it, you'll go, oh yeah, she added some other stuff, but this is still the basics. You can, but see how you really can't see back in there, but it's there, so you can always pull it out so you can see it more. Just grab it and kind of pull it towards you if you want to see it. Which I think if you took time to put it there, you should see it. But this, I just love this stuff. It's kind of a pain to deal with, but I think it's worth it. And as you can probably already see, I have lots of glitter on me already. And
Shelley says she's a doll baby. She's ours. She's our baby since the boys are grown.
Oh, yeah? Like our cats. I thought I had one of these pulled out already. I'm just trying to get one. Now I have glitter everywhere. Olivia does not like glitter. I love glitter, and I don't mind having it on me. Okay. These are kind of clustered together in groups of, and from what I can tell, this is really just like fishing line that's been dipped in glitter and glue with little bitty berries on it. Oh. Okay, I don't do good with tangles. I think we're almost free. We're going to be free because this is what I'm going to do. Cut it. And this just kind of goes on very loose and start at the top. Tuck it. And the good thing with, because it's so sticky, you can see how it was a pain in the butt to try to get it apart. Oh. Okay. Kind of let it just kind of lay on your tree. Think of it like those, I used to have those tinsel things, pieces of tinsel. The cats would eat it. And then It's just kind of wispy and nah. They're clustered together. That is just a hot mess. I'll put it on there later. But one last thing I would like to show you. This is tacky. It's just, it's not really, it's like for putting out posters and things like that. All it takes is just a little tiny round little ball of it. And like I said, I just got, these are the little wooden ones. I never thought I would be using this stuff. But ta-da! Merry Christmas, and thank y'all for watching, and I will finish this up and post it probably tomorrow, but thank you for being patient with me, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I enjoyed doing it for you. I'd love to see what your tree looks like, so please just feel free to post them or DM me with your pictures, and have a Merry Christmas.